Oh. I can't go on. This is a book I am going to wish I had the opportunity to read for the first time again. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I'm so excited. This is the first time I'm reading this book. Oh my God, as you obviously saw by the title, we are doing a Court of Silver Flames reading vlog today. Can you even believe it? If you didn't watch my Crescent City 1 rereading vlog, I'm gonna leave it linked down below if you haven't watched that yet. I have decided to do a little mini vlog series of me reading Crescent City 1, Silver Flames, House of Sky and Breath, and then House of Flame and Shadow. We're just like having a Sarah J. Maas time at this current moment, and I need to just like be in this mood for a little bit because I have waited my entire life to get to this point and be a Sarah J. Maas girly, and I'm finally there, and I just need to read it all. I need to read it all, and I need you to come with me because this is just what I need in my reading life right now, and I haven't read this much in months, okay? I have finished 2 books this month, and it's only January 21st, and one of the books was an 800-page book. Okay, I'm pretty proud of myself. I read this book in a week and a half, which is like literally unprecedented for me. Unfreaking precedented. Normally takes me about month minimum to read an 800-page book. Like, I'm so freaking proud of myself, you have no clue. The reason why I am doing this little mini series is because House of Flame and Shadow is coming out in 10 days. And I haven't finished House of Sky and Breath yet. So my original plan was to do Crescent City 1 and Crescent City 2 and then read Flame and Shadow. But everyone has been commenting and telling me, girl, you gotta read Silver Flames before you go forward with Sky and Breath, and especially for Flame and Shadow. So I got some work to do. I got some work to do. You know what? Nothing ever makes me more motivated in life to do something than a little bit of a deadline and some procrastination, okay? She is coming down to the wire. I got 1,500 pages to read in the next 10 days. Odds are against me on this one if I can finish these books, but I have taken off work for Crescent City's 3 release, like the 2 days after the release to read it, and I want to be able to enjoy in that experience and enjoy in this like phenomenon that the booktube community is going through right now with the release of Flame and Shadow. So I'm putting in the work. I am putting in the work. I've canceled all plans. My only plan is to read for the next like 10 days. Come along the journey with me. We're gonna be starting Court of Silver Flames. Now, I wanna give a little background and a little preface to my time reading the ACOTAR series, okay? I read the ACOTAR series probably back in, I think it was in 2019. And my thoughts on it. I was like, okay reading ACOTAR, really liked Mist and Fury, and I did not like Wings and Ruin. I just felt like I didn't really connect with Feyre as a character a whole lot. I didn't like overall have that undying love for the series that like everyone else seemingly does, which I do feel sad about. And maybe if I reread it, I'll feel differently, but like I remember reading it the first time and I was like, these are okay. So I have put off reading A Court of Silver Flames for quite a while because I just like didn't like love the ACOTAR series, but I did read Frost and Starlight just about a month ago. I listened to it on audio and I was like, okay, at least if I read that, I got a little bit of a setup going into Court of Silver Flames because I'm not gonna reread the entire ACOTAR series before I read this. I'm just gonna read Silver Flames, okay? I know Silver Flames follows Nesta, who is the sister of Feyre, and I know that this book has a lot of mental health representation. Nesta, in what I remember of the ACOTAR series, was kind of a grumpy gal. She didn't really like literally anything or anyone, and just kind of had a negative attitude. She's just a little negative Nelly, like all the time. So I'm really interested to see how we're gonna grow with this character because I know that people absolutely die for Nesta after reading this book. So I'm really interested to see what I'm going to think. I have a feeling I'm gonna really like her. I don't know why, there's just this feeling deep down inside. I think after reading Frost and Starlight, I found myself like seeing her in a different way. Like there were a few scenes in Frost and Starlight where you knew it was set up for this book, but I'm just like really interested to see how it's all gonna play out. I feel like she is a misunderstood character and I don't know if I'll be able to relate to her or just like see the more like, I wanna say humanity, but she's technically Fae, but I just want like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna connect with her in a way that I haven't connected with a different Sarah J. Maas character before. But yeah, let's get started reading this book. I'm so excited to bring you along with my thoughts, and please let me know your thoughts on this little mini series so far. I hope you're enjoying it. See you in the next clip. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye. Hi everyone, time for an update on A Court of Silver Flames. So I am on page 75 right now. I'm on like chapter 5 or 6. Already right off the bat, have a feeling I'm gonna love it. Have a feeling I am really, really going to love Nesta. I feel like she clearly has a lot of like trauma and like things that she has not worked through yet and like repressed feelings and stuff. And I just feel like she's going to end up being a very relatable character. She's very unlikable at first. Like she's really sassy and just like quippy and really just talks back to a lot of people, but that has not turned me off at all. I absolutely love her, and I feel like I can see an actual like humanity to her, and it just feels really real. It feels relatable, and like I can see where she's coming from with a lot of the feelings that she's trying to cope with. So really, really loving Nesta's character so far. As far as the plot goes, essentially all that's happened is that Nesta has essentially been commanded by her sister to the like House of Winds, and she has to train with Cassian. So her and Cassian are almost in a forced proximity type of situation, definitely giving enemies to lovers vibes. Like she doesn't hate Cassian, but she just like is giving him a ton of attitude and like not having it at all. But they're kind of in this forced proximity where Cassian almost has to like kind of whip her into shape and help her deal with her problems. And Feyre is like just really upset with the way that Nesta has been acting for a while. The part that I've struggled with the most up to this point is all of the backstory from ACOTAR. I think I said it earlier, I read it in 2019. I think I read it in 2020 or 2021. Regardless, it's been at least 3 years since I read the entire series. Totally forgot all the stuff that's happened in ACO War. Thank God I have friends who filled me in on the important things I need to know. But I know going forward, it's not like super imperative that I have to go back and reread the entire series just to understand this book. I do remember some things, but like a lot of the side characters and side plots and stuff like that, like I had completely forgotten that Cassian and Nesta, they do have somewhat of a history together from the war and stuff like that. So Sarah J. Maas does do a good job of kind of giving you a little bit of a recap. It's not super in depth, but she's telling you the parts that you have to know going forward. I'm just powering through and trying to jog my memory in any way I can from what she has told me so far. That is everything that has happened so far. Really, really liking it. Haven't gotten 5-star feels yet, but I also feel like I have to like get more into the plot. I just really feel like I'm going to love Nesta. I really think that like she is probably going to be one of my favorite characters that Sarah J. Maas has ever written. I cannot wait to kind of go on this journey with her and be able to find a character in a fantasy romance that I can like actually like really see myself in. And everyone deals with trauma in their life, you know, and trauma is a very real part of the human experience. And I think that for her to write a character that is dealing with those issues and dealing with those feelings and stuff, it just really helps relate to the characters that you enjoy reading about. So loving it so far. I also really love Cassian. I don't know. He's 10 out of 10. I love him. I will talk to you guys when I have my next update. Peace out. Bye. Hi everyone. I was reading this on my lunch. Why am I reading this at work? I cannot contain myself. I am on page 100. I am literally on page 100. We're already heating it up. We're already heating things up. There is some spicy scenes that have already happened already. And it's just like, okay, we haven't gotten like the full scenes yet, but we've gotten really spicy banter and like people's thoughts. Oh my God, Cassian and Nesta. The thoughts that they are having are just... Dude, I can't even take it. I can't take it. It's unbelievable. I am so here for this. Like, Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I am absolutely in love with this book, except for the fact that I have no clue what the plot of ACOTAR is or any of the plot points that have happened from the last 3 books. And I am struggling in that department, okay? I am essentially reading this book just for the Cassian and Nesta romance. Like, I've just heard nothing but unbelievable things about their romance. And I'm also here for the mental health representation for Nesta. Literally, I do not give a flying F about the plot of ACOTAR. I do not care. I am like just reading past those parts. It's talking about like Hybern and the queens and like all of that kind of stuff that when I was reading the original books, the ACOTAR books the first time, I was like confused at, or I don't remember anything from ACO War, to be honest with you. I literally remember zero things from ACO War. I remember the big plot reveal of A Court of Mist and Fury, or the big, romance. You know what I'm saying, okay? And the other thing I remember is the worm. Wait, can we talk about that worm for 1 second? I think that was in the first book, ACOTAR, but do you guys remember when Feyre was battling the worm? Okay, well, I thought it was a large earthworm that was like with massive teeth that was chasing her throughout this maze thing. Nope. I think a worm is a dragon. It's WYRM. I literally thought that Sarah J. Maas was like, I'm gonna have her be chased by a worm and we're just gonna mess up the spelling. So those are the main points that I remember from ACOTAR, and I don't know what she's talking about when she's talking about the queens, when she's talking about Hybern, when she's talking about the people in the other courts. Like, who are these people? I finally figured out who Eris is. Forgot who he was. Forgot who literally everyone else was. Like, didn't remember who Mor was. I remembered who Amryn was, but that was about it. So that is where I'm at right now. Here for Nesta. Here for Cassian. Here for Azriel too. I'm like, I love him. Feyre, girl, you annoy me. You annoy me. Stop being just the perfect thing. Sorry, that's my take on Feyre. I told you I didn't relate to her that much. She's not my favorite character ever, but Nesta, we stand. Nesta, we love. So I'm gonna continue reading. That's my only goal for tonight. I was going to go to the gym. Maybe I will go to the gym and read this on the treadmill, but like, honestly, should I be reading this in public? Probably not. And I will talk to you guys in the next update. Nesta and Cassian forever. Forever. Bye. Hi, I'm back. Okay, made a little bit more progress. I'm on page like 130 or 140 right now. I went to the gym and read this at the gym. There were a handful of points where I took my hat off and just covered my face for a little while because it was a little testy. I'm not as roped in the first 150 pages or so as I was with House of Earth and Blood. And I think it's really due to the fact that I just don't remember the whole plot line of ACOTAR. Pushing through, it's coming together though, and I really do love Cassian and Nesta's dynamic. One thing that I did come across in my last reading stint was Cassian was talking to Feyre for a little bit, and it was mentioned that Feyre is only 21. And that gave me the ick. I'm just gonna choose to ignore the fact that Feyre has found her mate at 21 and she's the queen of whatever at 21 years old. Like, I was an infant at 21 years old. I knew nothing about life at that point in my life. And like at 21, she is mated up and like just the queen and everything. I don't know. I'm just choosing to ignore that fact and pretend she's like 26. And I think, okay, if I'm remembering correctly, Nesta is the oldest. And like, hey, I'm the oldest child too. I really hope she's the oldest. I swear to God, if Feyre is the oldest, I don't relate, okay? Nesta gives oldest child energy. I don't know, she just feels like protective and like just an angered, tortured soul who is also still protective, but like you can see the little glimmer of hope in her. I really, really love her so far. And I think that like, if this book keeps going on the slight upward trajectory that it's going on, I think Nesta has the potential to be my favorite character Sarah J. Maas has ever written. And I'm just going to stand by that, okay? I'm really just manifesting that for my reading experience of this book. Having such a good time. I also uploaded my House of Earth and Blood reading vlog. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave the link down below. And I'm just like, I am living right now. This is just everything I've ever wanted to be and more. Plans for the rest of the day, literally just reading. We are 6 days away from House of Flame and Shadow release day, and I got 1,400 pages to go. It's a crisis. We are in crisis mode. The alarms are blaring in my head, and I feel like I am training or studying for like the test that's coming up next Tuesday that I just like have not even thought about the curriculum at all for 1 second. So that is the goal today, is to just sit in my little basement and read my book today. Maybe host some reading sprints, but we're gonna make some progress. Without further ado, let's get to it. Peace. Bye. Everyone, I know this angle is like, the lighting's all weird or whatever. I just like, my basement doesn't have the best lighting ever, but I've read literally like 4 pages since I last checked in. Well, I didn't really do a check-in on the plot, but like, I need to tell you, we just released a breath we didn't know we were holding. And it was Cassian who released the breath. Oh, Sarah J. Maas never fails to insert those liners. You can't get through a book without releasing a breath you didn't know you were holding or pausing for 1 heartbeat. Okay, so Nesta and Cassian just had their first training session. It took Nesta a little while to warm up to the idea of learning to train with Cassian. Okay, let me just like catch you up on the plot really quick so I can like explain why they're training and like what they're training for, whatever. Okay, we're just gonna start from what I remember from some of the ACOTAR series. So there was a big war, right? There was a war. Honestly, I can't remember who the war was with. I think it was with Highburn. And essentially Nesta came away from that war being quite traumatized, okay? She like saw her dad die and like a lot of people die, and like she, you know, her experience with the cauldron was extremely traumatizing, and now she is Faye. She never really wanted this life. She never wanted this life, and it was kind of forced upon her by Feyre, you know, joining this Fae world. So Nesta has a lot of like unprocessed trauma that she's been dealing with, and she's been dealing with it in a very unhealthy way up until now. Like drinking a lot, like having one-night stands, just really being destructive to herself and her body, and really trying to numb the pain with alcohol or sex or booze, or, you know, like just doing anything but feeling the feelings that she is trying to cope with. She's getting flashbacks of the trauma that has happened to her, whether that's in dreams, whether that's just she is doing something around the little house and like she gets a flashback, all that kind of stuff, like the very real stuff that trauma imposes upon people, and like it's like the stuff that really makes it hard to process the feelings, and you know, you keep reliving the same stuff over and over again. So that is kind of the point at where Nesta's at. So Nesta has been really destructive to her body up until this point, and just to her health, a lot of people's health around her. She's burned relationships. It's just like her relationships with her family are not going well, and Feyre's like, girl, we gotta get you back into, not even into line, just be like, just to take care of yourself. Like that's literally all Feyre wants, is for her to like be a healthy individual. They literally held an intervention for her, and they were like, you need to deal with these issues that you're having, or else we're going to like literally dump you into the human lands, which are basically just like a waste pit at this point. And like she would, I mean, it's like not the place. You don't want to go there. There's like a lot of bad things happening in the human lands right now. I really, to be honest, couldn't tell you what, but like sounds like a bad enough punishment that Nesta is willing to at least try to help herself. Cassian is It's a forced proximity type of situation. Cassian is like kind of like her guardian or her trainer, and Cassian and Nesta and Azriel are staying in the House of Wind. So they are kind of like roomies, I guess. Cassian is tasked with training Nesta on how to fight and like harness her power, which power we're not really sure of yet. We don't really know what kind of power she has. It's taken Nesta maybe about a week to finally agree to do some training with Cassian. And the first session that they have together, they're working a lot on like form and breathing and like just harnessing your power and like just do it, like literally they're like practicing like meditation and yoga essentially. And I just want to give a major shout out to Sarah J Maas for incorporating breath work and yoga. And they're not calling it yoga, but they're talking about how to like stand and how to do basic movements, like how to do a squat. If you've ever tried to work out once in your life, would realize that no one teaches you how to do a proper squat in your life. And I've totally been where Nesta has been, where you're like, I don't know how to do a squat at all. No one ever taught me that you don't want your knees to go forward above your toes. But the one thing I wanted to say is that I just really appreciate Sarah J Maas for nodding to healthy coping skills, especially breathing and meditating and just like working out. It doesn't have to be like this big, I'm gonna go do a CrossFit class or what, I'm gonna go run a marathon. It's literally like, I'm just gonna do some like light, gentle stretching, and it helps just like center your body and center yourself. The reason I'm saying this is because I've been through all the same stuff, and I realize like how incredible, like just basic breathing techniques, meditation, yoga, just like going to the gym and like walking, it just is so healing to the soul. And like, thank you, Sarah J Maas. The representation. I'm in love. I am in love with how this book is already being set up. And then also on top of it, man, we are still getting the one-liners of like their dirty little thoughts. It's just about each other. It's, oh my God. Oh my God. I've heard that this is Sarah J Maas's like spiciest book, and I'm salivating. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so glad I am doing this. I have never felt more alive in my reading life. Truly, truly, truly. I never want to leave this place. I just want to sit right here in this reading Crescent City, reading ACOTAR and Silver Flames, and like just living in this life, because this is my favorite way to experience life. I will keep you updated. I promise I'm not going to check in every 5 pages, but like, maybe I might a few times. Okay, I know I said I wasn't gonna check in every 5 pages, but I have an update. Sarah J Maas did not. They just trained, and now Cassian is stretching Nesta out. You know, it's like the classic like trainer move when like in the movies where they're like the main characters with their trainer and the trainer's like pushing on their legs, so their leg is like up here, and it's about to get heated. This is sending me. This is just absolutely sending me. I literally can't get past any of these scenes where it's like the sexual tension is just like without screaming. Internally, I literally can't take it. I'm like, I am literally dying over here. My body can't take this. Like, I'm in a state of like euphoria. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's about to get so heated, and I'm just so here for it. Oh my God. Okay, I need to stop checking in every 10 pages, but I can't. I need to just get this off my chest. Y'all, I am on page 182, okay? There's a scene in the dining room, okay? Basically, they are like just at each other's throats. And now things are happening in the hallway, okay? Okay, that's where we are. And I just need to film this for a second because I literally, my breath, like I almost vomited. I'm not even kidding you. Oh my God. I'm speechless. I am speechless. How is this legal? Like, how is this legal? God. Okay, if you want to know what I'm reading right now, I'm on, yeah, like I said, I'm on page like I'm on page 184. 184. If you want to go read that scene, this is what I'm experiencing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna vomit. Like, out of just like, I can't even like process. Okay, I think what I'm trying to say with this book is, how are people surviving in the world after reading this? Like, I am a changed person. I mean, even just reading the first 200 pages, like, how are people continuing to exist in their daily life without just like screaming at people to go and read this book? All of the women, do yourself a favor and go read this book. Like, you are literally depriving yourself of joy if you're choosing to not read this book. And that's what I did. I did that for the last however many years this book has been out and I haven't read it. And I literally, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that? That was the young and dumb Kara, okay? We are entering into a new stage of our life, reading books that people recommend. Go read it. Go read it. I'm not even done with it, and go read it. I'm not even halfway. I'm not even a quarter way. Go read it. This is a 5-star. What? Does it matter that I have no idea what's going on with the whole world and the war and whatever that's going? No, it does not. All that matters is this romance. Oh my God. I'm not, how am I gonna sleep? I don't even know. How am I gonna work? I was gonna bring this book to work tomorrow. No, I don't think I can do that. I'm not gonna be able to function if I bring that book to work. I don't think, how did I get this in through the doors of my work? People should be like taking it away from me. Like, I've never felt this way about a book. I have never felt this way about a book. And if there's this book out there, there's gotta be other ones like it. People, tell me where those books are. Just tell me. Just give me a rec. Drop a rec. Love to know. The fact that this vlog is probably already 30 minutes long and I'm only on page not even 200. Sick. Okay, I'm gonna make dinner. Bye. Okay. I have since made dinner and ate dinner, and now I've calmed down enough to be able to continue reading. While this is a video for my channel, this is also a video diary of me reading this, right? I just want to say, I need to savor this book. I can already say this is a book I am going to wish I had the opportunity to read for the first time again. I can tell it's one of those books. I'm so happy to be experiencing this book and being able to like live and read this book. It's just, this is the feeling you always strive for. It truly is. This is why I love reading. This is why I created a booktube channel, is to find books and be able to talk to people about books like this. Like, I am so unwell. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading. And I'm gonna check in once I've made some further progress in the storyline. Things got a little heated. The cast. I don't know if I'm ready to move on. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to go on. What's gonna happen? You guys, this book is so good. It is so good. It is the conversation surrounding trauma that this book talks about. It's everything. It is literally everything. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Like, I don't know if I'm ready. It's gonna get real heated. Like, it's about to go down. Okay, shall we? Okay, let's just proceed. I'm just gonna proceed with caution. Okay, here we go. How am I gonna make it through this book? God. Oh my God. I have no, I feel like I could pass out. Like, I was not ready for this. I did not think, I knew it was spicy, but like, I didn't know it was like this. Like, they're just making out right now, and I am like so flushed. I can't even make it one paragraph. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Silent review. Lord save me. Lord save me. I can't even form a word. I can't even form a word. I'm on page 218. I still have this much left. I need to go. One last thing before I move on. I don't think I'm gonna move on. I think I'm just gonna keep recording every single second of this journey. I feel like I'm gonna throw up with excitement. You know when you cry happy tears? I'm about to vomit a happy vomit. Like, oh my God, I'm not okay. I just need to sit here for a little bit. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. How do I even begin to verbalize the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions? What has happened to my body in the last 24 hours? I don't even think I can verbalize it. I am having a visceral reaction to this book. Where do we even begin? Where do we even begin? I just want to talk to you about the feelings my soul has endured over the last 24 hours. Now, you saw the immediate reactions about how I was feeling towards A Court of Silver Flames. You saw what I went through. Those were my raw, in the moment reactions. I have now sat with these emotions over the last 24 hours. There is a before and an after, okay? I am a changed woman. I am not the same person I was 2 days ago. This book has thoroughly changed my insides, changed my brain chemistry, changed everything about me. I am a new personality. I'm a new woman. There's a before reading A Court of Silver Flames and an after reading A Court of Silver Flames. I am not the same. And I'm only on page 200 something, okay? I don't know how to explain this. There's not even a word. There's not even a word for it. This has become my entire being. It's all I think about. It's all I want to do. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to eat. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to hang out with people. All I want to do is read and devour this book from the inside out. I am so in love with it. It's like, it's unhealthy. I've gone feral, okay? I am like a rabid dog right now. That's the only way I can describe it. That's the only way I can describe the feeling of reading this book. I swear to God. Okay, so those are the thoughts and the feelings and everything that I'm going through right now in this moment. I have to talk to you about what I read last night, because after I hung up the phone, after I said stop record, I went up to my room and I read a little bit more. I'm not even kidding you. I probably read 5 pages. No, 20 pages before I went to bed. And there was a huge development, okay? I'm about to talk spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers of A Court of Silver Flames, so just proceed with caution, okay? I'm going to talk spoilers now. This is not the last warning you'll get, but I'm going to talk spoilers. So I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, uno. You want to know? Come here. You want to know what was revealed? Feyre is pregnant. I literally read the sentence, I'm pregnant, and I shut the book and I went, okay, and I want to tell you my thoughts and feelings on this. I think I had seen a spoiler somewhere before that there was a child to be born onto this world at some point in the ACOTAR series. And I had assumed that Feyre and Rhys, there would probably be some kind of pregnancy trope somewhere for them because it just feels like them, okay? Not me hating on Feyre and Rhys. And this is after my first reread through the whole thing. I was just kind of like, I got really annoyed with them and the third book because the only thing I remember from the third book is that Sarah J. Maas used the word mate every other sentence and every other word. It was just mate, 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 mate. I think she said it at least 1,000 times in that book, and I was nauseated by the end of it. I literally, anytime someone says the word mate in here, I'm like, bleh. Like I can't. Feyre and Rhysand they just give pregnancy, okay? Like, that is not surprising to me at all. I am not shocked, but I was just like, it's actually happening. Once that was revealed, we got the setup for the plot of the rest of the book. So basically Feyre was like, I'm pregnant or not. And then everyone was talking about this war that's starting to brew, or like tensions are rising between countries. Essentially, the whole conversation came down to, we need to find the cauldron again because the bad guys are looking for the cauldron and we need to find it so they don't get it and destroy the world. Once they decided they needed to find the cauldron again, they ruled out Feyre from not being able to find the cauldron, to not be able to work on this project because she has to protect her body. Rightfully so. Like, she's gotta give birth. She's gotta bear a child. So Nesta and Elaine were tasked with looking for the cauldron and looking for what felt akin to me like the Deathly Hallows. You know how in Harry Potter, when they were looking, Harry Potter spoilers, you know in Harry Potter in the 7th book when they were looking for the rest of the Horcruxes and stuff? No, not even if they were looking for the Horcruxes, they were looking for the 3, like the wand, the Deathly Hallows. They were looking for the Deathly Hallows. Basically, this is what the plot setup was. They are tasked to find these 3 ancient magical artifacts that once all of them are found, those can point to where the cauldron is. So essentially, Nesta and Elaine are tasked with doing this, and Nesta's like, I am the bigger sister and I want to protect Elaine, so this is going to be my job, even though she totally doesn't want to, because the cauldron equals trauma. So that's what's going on with the plot. Feyre is with child. Nesta has to go find these things, and you know who's going to be right by her side? You know who's going to be right by her side? Our man Cassian. And then Elaine's probably gonna help some too. That's where we are. We still have literally 500 pages to go. 500 pages of bliss. Okay, absolute joy and excitement. I am so excited to continue on. I am a new woman. I am a changed woman. I will never be the same after reading this book. I swear. Okay, I am gonna go and read this book because that's all I've been wanting to do all day. Love you. Hope you're enjoying the video. Sorry, not sorry for becoming feral for this series and this book and Sarah J. Maas. I have a new personality. Love it or leave it, but I am never going back. Okay, love you. Peace out. Bye. POV, you're watching me read Akosif at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I literally can't. I cannot. How are people just like living in this world after reading this? I can't even read. I can't even get past one sentence. Like, I read one sentence and I can't even go on. Anchor me. I'm reading, okay, I'm on page 246 and 247 if you have any question about what I'm reading right now. Oh my god. They are even now. If you know what I mean. I can't go, how do I live my life? How do I live my day? I can't. I can't make it 2 pages without giving an update because this book is just unbelievable. Nesta did not have some thoughts about Cassian and another female Asriel. She had some thoughts. She had some thoughts about that combination. What? I didn't think Sarah J. Maas would go there. Can you believe that? Can you? Is this foreshadowing? I swear to God, I'm only that far. I can't take this book. I mean, I can, but I can't. I'll just say this. The two of them working in tandem. Hi, everyone. Okay, time for an official update. I am officially on part two. Part two, The Blade. And I wanted to give a non-chaotic update for once in my life. This is my overall thought. If you read this book and you don't like it, I don't trust you. No offense, but like, I don't know if I could be your friend if you didn't like this book. Like, this book? I'm going insane. I am going animalistic. I am going feral. I am going full on rabid dog on this book. I feel like I've never been this speechless before with a book. And I feel like when I say that, you know, there's so many different kinds of ways that you can like book. Like, I think about like books that I like, literally fiction books that I have just like rocked me to my core and like spoken to my soul. This is a totally different type of feel, but I still feel like I've never read a book like this before in my life, where I am just so, it's my complete personality. It is everything I want to do ever in the world. Is I just want to read this book for the rest of my life, like straight up. I am so beyond obsessed with it. Every time I read it, I get so amped up and excited. I want to just puke out of joy. At the core of this book, I feel like I'm experiencing every type of emotion. Like, I'm experiencing the giddiness of a 15-year-old during the like more spicy scenes and the scenes where there's just banter and they're like attracted to each other and there's so much tension and like it's just unbelievable. But then I'm also experiencing and just being able to get the more emotional side of Nesta and like understanding her trauma and her trying to work through her trauma, and like that's a whole conversation in itself. And it's just really, really amazing how these two aspects of this book are so well meshing and so blending together so well. It's like you can't stop reading it because 1 minute it's a really spicy scene, and then the next minute it's like she's processing her trauma and trying to like recover as an individual, and then the next minute there's a really great plot point and they're like searching for lost artifacts and like whatever, and like it just keeps switching between these really interesting themes of the story, and I'm just obsessed with it. I just love it so much. For sure, hands down, no question about it, this is my favorite ACOTAR book written. There's not even a question. Like, literally no question at all. None of the other books compare to this, in my opinion. I want to reread the entire series just so I can reread this book again. That's how I feel about this book. This is a 12 star. This is a 6 billion star. This is a out of this world infinity star. I am so beyond obsessed with it. And I just like, I know I keep saying it, but how am I not even halfway yet? How do I still have the whole entire, like a 75% of the book to go? It's bringing me everything I want in life. I am so happy that I have finally picked this book up. Like, I can't even imagine. What if I never read this book? What if I just decided I was never going to read? Like, why would I do that to myself? If you're holding out on yourself, read the book. Read the book. You don't know what you're missing until you try it. Seriously, don't live deprived of joy. This book is bringing me every emotion I could ever want. I think that's all I can say. I really have no words, and I just can't wait to keep reading. And this vlog, I think I've already recorded an hour and a half of footage, and I'm 25% into it. So yay for future Kara for editing. You are doing great, babe. I'm gonna go. I have plans tonight. I'm actually going out to dinner with some friends, and then all I'm doing this weekend is reading. Can't wait. My hope is that I can finish this book this weekend, but we'll see. Okay. Peace and love. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning. January 27th, aka I am so screwed if I want to read House of Flame and Shadow on release day. I don't even want to talk about it, okay? All I want to talk about is A Court of Solar Flames. I truly am giving an update every 20 pages I'm reading, but I don't care, okay? This is my reading vlog. I can do what I want, and I just want to squeal about this book until the day I die, okay? There's a scene in the dining room. If you know, you know. I have melted. I have no words. I am obsessed. Literally I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. Just read the book, okay? Also, okay, so not only is the spice 10 out of 10, we're forming friends. Nesta's forming friends. It makes me want to cry in the best way. She's like starting to form friends with like some of the acolytes in the library that she's working in, and also with one of the shopkeepers that is in Illyria. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The found friendship, the found family, female friendships. I just want to like scream from the rooftops how incredible it is. I'm just living for this book. I just stan Cassian and Nesta. Cassian is so respectful. A lot of her friends have also faced very similar, maybe not similar in the same exact way, but they've also faced some difficult traumas. And Cassian and Nesta are working together to help. They're basically bringing women together in this group to help teach them how to exercise their body and to become stronger and be able to like defend themselves. Not only is it creating a space for them to feel empowered, but it's also creating a space for them to feel in tune with their own body and their mental health, and like developing a sense of like power in your body when you're strong and stuff like that. And I know what that feels like, and I relate to that, the way that it's being done, and like it's just such in a respectful way. And I'm just standing the hell out of this book. I love it. I can't stop reading it. But another little update I wanted to give. I'm about to go to Starbucks because I want to treat myself. Let's go to Starbucks. I'm gonna pick up my little drinky poo, and then we're gonna come back and read my book. Yes, I did just say drinky poo. Okay. Bye. Hey guys, update again, read about 20 pages and had to give an update, okay? From here on out, full spoilers, okay? Full spoilers. I know I teased spoilers before, but like, nope, I can't get through this vlog without talking spoilers because too many things are happening, and I need somewhere to talk about this, okay? I cannot keep this inside. We're talking spoilers, okay? So I know I already said that before, but like from here on out, full spoilers, giving you 5 seconds again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler time. Spoiler time. Spoiler time. Please click off the video if you don't want to know what's gonna happen. Okay, first of all, they're trying to find this death trove where there's like it's basically like the deathly hollows. They're trying to find like 3 different artifacts that are going to help lead them to where the cauldron is, or something along those lines. Nesta is tasked with finding the 3 artifacts, finding the death trove. So she is trying to scry, which means to see, which means to try and foresee where these things are. She's trying to use her power to like channel the earth or Perithian and say, where is the mask? She's only done this one other time, and it was bad. Like, bad news when she tried to do that the other time. It like didn't end well, and like basically they took Elaine, or like something bad happened, okay? So she tried to scry, and at first like nothing happened, nothing seemed to happen, and then she went to bed, and then she had this nightmare that the cauldron was searching for her and about to take her, and then Nesta erupted erupted in silver flames. Literally silver flames. She's sitting in her bed, like arching her back, just like exercising on this bed. Cassian and Azriel come running. They see what's going on. Rhys goes through the doors of the window, breaks through the window, and then freaking covers her with his power to try and like put out the flames. And then Rhys like goes into her little dreams and discovers that her power is pure death. What? Okay, I didn't think that was gonna be the power. That's a pretty powerful power. What does that mean? That she can kill people? Like that she is death? I don't even know what that means, but like it sounds really bad, you know? Oh, Nesta, I just wanna hug you. She is just going through it. She's going through a lot right now and I just love her so much. Okay, so that's literally where I stopped. This book is doing something to me. This book is doing something to me and I'm just not okay. But I know I'm okay, but I'm like not okay. Like I just see Nesta. I just see her. That was the update I need to give. I'm probably gonna give you another update one chapter later because I literally cannot go 10 seconds without talking about it. Okay, bye. Chapter 31. Oh my God, that dining room has seen some things. I am gagged, like literally, I can't. Nesta is forked. She like scried and was able to see that the mask is in the middle, which is like this unmanned territory in the middle of the little country thing where there's like some deep dark things going on there that no one rules over, and like so just bad things can happen and just live there. Her, Cassian, and Azriel set out on this mission to go try and find the mask in the bog. First of all, Azriel shot down with an arrow. Then Cassian was flying with Nesta and he's like, oh shit, Azriel is not with us anymore. He puts Nesta in a tree and then goes to fight the bad guys because there was an army of Autumn soldiers there that had shot Azriel down. She was sitting in this tree and she goes, I'm sitting in this tree for too long. I'm gonna get out of the tree. Nesta, babe, we never do that. You stay put. Girl, you stay put until someone comes and gets you. I don't care if you're sitting there for 24 hours, okay? You do not get out of that tree. Only bad things can happen when you get out of the tree. And guess what? Something bad happened. So they're in this bog, right? They're in this bog, so she's in some marshy lands with this dead tree. She gets out of the dead tree, goes over to the black water, looks at herself in the water. It's giving Lord of the Rings when Frodo and Sam are like on this marsh and then Frodo like goes into the water or whatever and like there's all these crazy gross dead zombies in the water. That's what's going on, okay? This bad thing came out of the water, which the way that Sarah J. Maas described that thing, I am now traumatized from the image that my brain formed. It's basically a Voldemort with long black hair. This thing grabbed her, dragged her into the water. So we are now same deal with the Lord of the Rings where Frodo's under the water with all the bad things and he's like screaming and whatever. Nesta, why'd you get out of the tree, babe? Stay in the tree. Yo, I am halfway. We did it. We're halfway through. She's okay. Our girl's okay. I mean, we knew she was gonna be okay. There's no way she died in the middle of the book and then just nothing, you know, like what would the rest of the book be about? That hasn't happened yet. The death power, frightening. I just feel like there's a lot of meaning and that is a very intentional thing as to why they chose death as her power or whatever. Like it feels meaningful in some way. It feels like this is an intentional thing and I just feel like she's gonna be able to harness this power and turn it almost into like a beautiful thing. I don't know if she's gonna like defeat some like demon or I don't really know, but I just feel like while this seems to be the darkest thing or the darkest power you could possibly have, I don't view this as a bad thing. Does that make sense? I feel like this means something, it's bigger than ourselves. She seems the most powerful out of anyone in this group of characters. I attempted to listen to the audiobook again. Oh my God, it's so bad. It is so bad. Not the graphic audio one, the other one. I literally had to turn it off after 30 seconds. It's so bad. Who approved that? Hey guys. Okay, I've been doing reading sprints for literally like the last 10 hours because I've just been wanting to read this book. I've almost read 200 pages in this one day. So I would consider this a major success. Y'all, I am on a live. I'm on a live right now with the camera on. And I'm reading about a headboard. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. I am live on the I'm about to start crying. I'm laughing so hard. I think this is the spiciest book I've ever read. That is the truth. I can't even recall a different book that even compares to the amount that we are getting in this book. There's been some choice language that is hard to get over in these scenes. You know, she has to use a plethora of different words to describe things, right? But man, just the vocabulary. Oh, you know, we're talking about seeds and beads and buds and you know, most things like floral, earthly themed things. I'm done saying anything else. Okay, you get my drift. But we've just, you know, had a lot of personal time together between Nesta and Cassian so far. But I do want to say, aside from all of that, I am truly loving this female formation of Nesta kind of like leading the pack in terms of like the women and the acolytes and stuff learning to come into themselves and feel comfortable with who they are and learning to, you know, feel empowered in their own bodies. I'm truly, truly loving that storyline. So I am just living. I am living. You know, I'm normally not like a like spicy romance kind of gal, but maybe I just haven't read the right ones. Hello everyone, it is officially Sunday night. I made it another 100 pages today. I still have just over 150 pages left of Silver Flames, and I'm just accepting the fact that I am not going to get to House of Flame and Shadow, you know, by Wednesday. Okay, like I think I'm definitely gonna have to take the next few days. I am gonna be just listening to that audiobook over the next few days. I digress. We're going to be talking about what's been going on in Silver Flames as of today. The biggest development that's happened in the last part of the book that I've read is that Nesta and Cassian went to go find the harp. And at first it seemed like this is too easy. Like they literally just kind of like walked up to it and Nesta felt some kind of like weird wards. She touched the harp and then all of a sudden she got like connected with Brialyn, the other person who's looking for all of the dead trove stuff. And the queen was like, I know where you are, Nesta. And then she sent some soldiers to try and go kill them. And then basically Nesta, like, she was fine and they were able to walk out. But when the harp was kind of like talking to her and said, do you want me to take the wards down for you? And she said, yes. And then she played the harp and then she was like able to walk out. Well, when they walked out, that opened the doors to one of the most dangerous demons that is in the prison. And then Cassian almost died, but he didn't. And Nesta literally slayed the demon. Slayed the demon with her death sword. And she is a badass. And that's all there is to say. Basically, Cassian healed in like a day, of course. He almost died, like legit almost died. And then he was fine, like 2 days later. Sure, we'll just gloss over that fact. Like, okay, the Fae heal quickly. It was a very intense scene though. I do think the bog scene was way more intense. And I think I liked the imagery and all of that stuff. It was so much more alive in my head than I feel like the harp scene was. Basically now, the gang is like, we gotta secure our alliances because a war could break out at any single moment. So their biggest alliance right now, or like alliance that's shaky, is with Eris, who is like this one of the sons of the Autumn King, and like he like is part of the Autumn Court. And they tasked Nesta with seducing him to try and get him to be more of a stronger alliance for them. And so Nesta is going to dance with him at an upcoming winter solstice ball. I am interested to see how this goes. I'm interested because I feel like there's going to be an aspect of jealousy from Cassian. Like, what's he going to do? He was already a little jealous when they were talking about it. And I think that it could elevate their relationship to a new level because right now it just is sex. Like, it's only like sex for them in terms of like any type of a romantic relationship. They do have a very strong friendship too, but like they have not crossed any barriers as to like we're exclusive or whatever. That's where I'm at. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next update. Bye. Hi everyone. Today is, I think, 2 days later. I think I last updated you on Sunday and today is Tuesday. Today is the day that Flame and Shadow came out. I haven't had time to sit down yet and physically finish the book. So that is what we're doing right now. And I'm about to get emotionally destroyed by this book, okay? Like, I have a feeling I'm just gonna have an emotional time. I really hope Reed doesn't come home from work for a little while because I just need to cry it out and I just need to like let my soul flow with Nesta. I just have a feeling I'm gonna be bawling. Let's finish off the book that I'm forever going to remember reading for the first time ever. Oh, I could get emotional even thinking about it. Truly, this book has truly changed me. Like, I can't wait to reread this book. I'm probably gonna reread this book like the second I finish Flame and Shadow. I am not even kidding you. Okay. Let's do it. Have something happening and it's not good. Okay, it's winter solstice and Nesta was dancing with Eris and like Eris is obviously in love with her because duh, who isn't in love with her? I'm in love with her. Eris wants to marry Nesta now and then Cassian is like jealous AF. But it's winter solstice and they're all exchanging gifts and Cassian gets her a gift. And Nesta, it was like this beautiful little orb full of all of the music that she was dancing to at the ball because she was just like living her best life and dancing. And she's like, I can't accept this. And now she's like, I don't deserve you. I've never deserved you. It doesn't matter and I never ever will. And like, now I'm just like, stop. Oh my God. Wait, listen to this line. You're not gonna marry Eris, he said roughly. No, she breathed. His eyes blazed. There will be no one else for either of us. Yes, she whispered, ever. Oh my God, I'm crying. I feel emotionally unstable. I'm supposed to go to the grocery store right now. Like, I don't want to go. Oh, now they're gonna, okay, now we're just getting it. Now we're just getting it on. Okay, well, tears are over now. Okay, maybe I should go to the grocery store. Well, that was a really cute moment. I love this book. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end, even though I'm so excited for the next parts of Crescent City. I just like, I'm living in it. I want to reread it for the rest of my life. Literally bury me with it. I will not go to sleep tonight until I finish this book. It's currently 6 o'clock. I will be here all night if I have to. Okay, I changed into my big Snuggie because honestly, I feel terrible right now. With that being said, the found family, the found friendship in this book. Oh my God. Oh, can we just appreciate the beauty that Gwen and Emery, it's Emery. Okay, the found friendship that all three of those women have is so beautiful. My heart is like soaring through the skies for them. Nesta and Amryn just kind of had this like moment together too where Nesta apologized to Amryn. Okay, let me just read this passage here because I don't know, I read this and I just feel like it resonated so much. Nesta apologized to Amren for just her behavior recently and like how, you know, terrible she's kind of treated everyone. She saw Amren at the Starfall event or holiday thing or whatever, and she apologized to Amren. She basically like fell to her knees and was just like, I'm so sorry for how I treated you, and I want to be your friend, and I don't want to lose you as a friend. And Amren, they're kind of just talking about everything that Nesta has been through and how she's worked through all of this, like really like the pain that she's worked through and all this kind of stuff. And Amren says this to Nesta at one point. So they're kind of talking about her power and how her power only creates this darkness, and like it's the darkness that has just like consumed her, and she just feels like she can never get away from it. And Amren says, to know the darkness will always remain, but how you choose to face it, handle it, that's the important part. To not let it consume, to focus upon the good, the things that fill you with wonder. The struggle with that darkness is worth it just to see such things. And I just feel like I can relate to that. It's a really beautiful quote, and I'm not annotating this book, but I would annotate that part if I was doing that. I don't know, I'm just feeling such a sense of sisterhood and bonding and like found family, and I feel like this book is so empowering too. Like it just empowers women. Even just reading this book, I just feel like a strong woman. It makes me feel like I am strong for like having dealt with the things that I've dealt with in my life, and like I just feel like I see myself in Nesta so much, and oh my god, it just makes me want to cry, honestly. And I still have 100 pages left, but like I'm living for this book. This is like probably one of my favorite books I've ever read. Like I'm not even kidding you. I promise. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I honestly might take a bath because my like face hurts so much. I did test for COVID, thank God I'm negative, but I am struggling in the health department right now. I look so stupid right now, but I don't care. I'm not changing, okay? This is real, this is me. Don't ask, okay? Don't ask. Something's happening. Stop. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. They're mates. They're mates. They're mates. But now they're fighting. Cassian said something very hurtful, and then Nesta's like, I'm calling in that favor. You need to get away from me, and don't talk to me until I come and talk to you. We got another third act breakup going on here. No! It was just so perfect. They're my favorite. Okay, just a take here. So Nesta, Gwyn, and Emery are now in the Blood Rite. They were like thrown into the Blood Rite, you know? The Blood Rite is very much giving Hunger Games vibes. Like they are literally kidnapped and then they awake and they are surrounded by people and they don't have any weapons or anything other than the clothes on their back, and they have to go and survive and be the first people to get to the top of this mountain. Like it feels like the Hunger Games in a little bit of a different way. I mean, not a fun time for the characters to go through, but it's a really engaging story to read. So I am hooked and I'm really hoping our girl makes it. Another thought about this Blood Rite. You put me in that Blood Rite, I am dead not even within 5 minutes into it. There is no chance of me surviving an hour. I have no skills, fighting skills or survival skills. Look at me right now. Look, you think I have survival skills? Absolutely not. It's very Hunger Games vibes right now, and I'm loving it. Well, we're hearing the reasons why Gwyn and Emery, we're hearing the reasons why they decided to come to training, and I'm just feeling it in my bones. They're at the base of the big mountain, and they're about to scale it and potentially become like the Illyrian warrior of all Illyrian warriors. The things that Cassian, Azriel, and Rhysand are, and it's a big deal. I have 50 pages left. Cassian is now under the duress of Koshai and Brialyn, and Koshai has now taken him. I don't know where, but he doesn't have any magic right now, and he like can't do anything. I'm stressed. Also, Nesta is fighting and defending her friends so her friends can reach the top of the summit. And she's like fighting the cousin named Bellius and all of his friends or whatever, all the male fae who are trying to beat them to the top of the mountain. She's being a baddie right now. I love her. The line, do you really think you can beat me in hand-to-hand contact? I do. Because my mate taught me well. That's right, Nesta. You say those words. Oh my god, I'm so happy. And now Cassian just came and saved our girl. She was in hand-to-hand combat with the stupid Bellius. Okay, but Nesta was holding the line. She was holding the line for her friends to go to the top of the summit and like win the whole thing. She was holding the line just like Analius did at the start, which like started the whole blood right, and this was like the whole in remembrance of Analius. And now she is the warrior, the Valkyrie, holding it, the line for her friends to go on, and now she is literally about to go down and die at the hands of this stupid guy, and then Cassian swoops in, and he slayed Bellius. Here we go. Cassian stepped over the dying body, offered her a hand, not to sweep her in his arms. No, we have no damsel in distress here, but to help her rise. Not to sweep her in his arms, but to help her rise, our queen, as he had always done. Oh, yes, yes. What? Oh my god. I forgot Cassian had been taken over by the Kosha guy. Literally the next line, not me like forgetting that Cassian is now possessed. He goes, and now I'm going to slit your throat. No, Cassian, do not kill her. Oh no. Oh no. I can't go on. I can't even read the words. I should probably say what happened. Cassian killed him. Oh. Oh no. I literally can't read these words. I can't read these words. This can't be happening. Basically, the queen or whatever told Cassian, like he's possessed by her, and he told Cassian to kill Nesta, and he didn't kill Nesta. Oh my god, he didn't die. He faked it. Oh, Cassian, why'd you do that to me? You little sneaky guy. Okay, false alarm. False alarm, everyone. Oh, I wouldn't have been able to move on. I wouldn't have been able to move on. Oh no, oh no. We just made it through that. Now we got Feyre. Oh my god, I swear to god. I swear to god. I swear to god. I don't know if I can handle that again. She literally can't. No. The baby lived. And so did Feyre. I've really been through an emotional roller coaster here. Okay, I have 9 pages left. I'm just gonna talk to you when I get back, or when I'm done. I finished. So that was the best Sarah J. Maas book I've ever read. It's 11 o'clock right now at night. I'm gonna go to sleep and collect my thoughts and just sleep on my thoughts and tell you in the morning, because I need to get some sleep because I'm ill. Oh my god. Wow, the ending was a roller coaster, honestly. I just wanted to you know, tell you my initial reaction, I guess. I'm just, my face is so dried out from all of the Kleenexes I've had to use. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna touch base with you in the morning about my final thoughts. But overall, I can tell you right now, 520 million stars. Every star you could ever dream of. It's all the stars in the world. And it was beautiful. That was a beautiful book. I just loved it so much. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, hi everyone. What a time. What a time we have truly been through on this journey of reading A Court of Silver Flames. Okay, I finished the book last night. I slept on it, and I just want to give you my final thoughts. I don't actually have the book with me here, and I'm too lazy to go upstairs to go get it. Overall thoughts. First thought, best Sarah J. Maas book I've ever read. No joke, 100%. That is exactly how I'm feeling. I can't get enough of that book. I want to reread that book like literally immediately after I finish Flame and Shadow. I want to annotate my copy of Silver Flames, and I just need to relish in the fact that that reading experience of Silver Flames, I mean, I think I liked it more than House of Earth and Blood, which I am shocked because I feel like when I finish House of Earth and Blood, I'm like, I am on the biggest high ever. And then I read Silver Flames and I'm like, I'm never coming back down. I'm gonna reread Sarah J. Maas for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not even kidding you. When I finish Crescent City 3, it's just gonna be on, like, I'm gonna finish Throne of Glass, and then I'm just gonna be on repeat forever and ever and ever, and I'm never gonna stop reading them until I memorize the entire thing, and then I'm still gonna keep reading them. That book made me feel that. I can't wait to go back and read the ACOTAR series now and like actually remember all of the background to where we got to in Silver Flames, because there was so much backstory, like I was saying early in the vlog. Totally forgot what happened in Miss Infuri and Wings and Ruin. Like, all of the big fantasy stuff that was going on, had no recollection. So I think I'm gonna reread the ACOTAR series once I probably finish Throne of Glass, or I don't know, like that's gonna come at some time this year. But I just feel like overall this whole reading experience has been something that I've truly cherished, and I just know that like this vlog is a pivotal point in my reading journey. I don't think that I've ever felt this way or felt like I need to remember this moment because I'm gonna wish that I could reread this book for the first time again. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a pivotal reading experience for me, and I'm just so beyond happy that I decided to pick it up, because everyone was like pushing me to read it before I read House of Sky and Breath. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. It was the best one for sure in the ACOTAR series, best Sarah J. Maas book I've ever read. And I think a lot of that lends to how much I saw myself in Nesta. Like, there have been times in my life where I have felt just like she has felt. Like, I literally saw myself in her so much, and like the oldest child thing, and just what she's been through, and like how I related to her, and just how I felt like I saw myself in her. Oh my God, I've never felt so seen by a fantasy character. I feel like there's a lot of literary fiction that I can see myself in, but not so much in fantasy. In fantasy, it's usually like, I'm just there for the story and for the vibes and for a good time and to escape. But like Nesta, I really felt like I understood where she was coming from, and I just felt like I knew her. And I think that's why I liked her so much. She's definitely not a character that, you know, anyone can put themselves in the character space. Like, I'm sure some of you had read Fourth Wing, but the main character in Fourth Wing is just like a very bland character. She really has no emotion, nothing to me stands out to her, which makes it easy to project yourself onto her and almost feel like you are the character, because there's nothing that super stands out where it's like people can either sway one way or another, whether they like or dislike them based on their decisions or their inner monologue, whatever. But Nesta, she's a very like, she has this type of personality, take it or leave it. I don't know, I just felt like she really stood out as a main character to me, and I can't even sing these praises enough. I truly can't. Throughout the entire story, I loved every single storyline that was in the book except Rhys and Feyre's storyline. And I really wonder if I'm gonna feel differently about Rhys and Feyre when I go back and reread ACOTAR. But like, I don't know, I just felt at points their relationship can be quite cringy. To me personally, I just find it cringy and like, whatever. I don't know, maybe I'll feel different on a reread, because that's just how I felt the first time I read ACOTAR. The pregnancy trope, it's not my favorite trope. I don't know, I was kind of just like, really? So that was the only storyline that I wasn't a huge fan of. Other than that, The found friendship between Nesta, Gwyn, and Emery, incredible. Like their character story, like their character arc and their storyline, it was beautiful. I just, again, felt like I saw myself in all of those characters, just finding the people who lift you up and like support you no matter what you've been through. That's the biggest thing. Like Nesta was so afraid to tell them of their past, and when she opened up, it was just like this beautiful, beautiful moment. That, and then the romance between Cassie and those are tied too for my top favorite storylines in this. Obviously, Cassian is just my man. I love him. The romance is out of this world. It is spicy beyond belief. You get smut scene after smut scene every 30 pages. It was a lot, and I felt like, I don't think it was too much for me, but it was borderlining too much, you know? Sometimes I just like them sprinkled out every once in a while, but it was like, it was a lot. I also really like the plot with like the dread trove and how they were trying to find these lost artifacts. I thought that was a really fun storyline and plot line to follow throughout the book, and it just like, it really gave me like Deathly Hallows kind of vibes where they're like trying to look for all of the Horcruxes and stuff. So overall, this book was a 600 billion star out of 5 stars. I will give it every star possible. I can't wait to go back and reread it. I can't wait to annotate it. I truly had the best reading experience ever with this, and I just feel like I'm gonna like it even more when I start annotating it too. And I just like, oh, I think this is one of my top 10 books of all time. Like, not even kidding you. I swear to God, I loved it that much. So yeah, I am currently reading House of Sky and Breath, so that's the next vlog that is gonna come your way. I am really going through it. Like I said before, I have just entered my Sarah J. Maas era in my reading life, and nothing could be more right in this world, truly. I've wanted to be at this point in my life for years and years and years, and I am so happy, like beyond happy. Okay, if you guys have enjoyed this vlog and made it all the way through, leave the sword, like the crossing sword emoji down in the comments, because ataraxia. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and truly, if you made it to the end, you're the real ones, okay? Love you. Bye.